Julius, how's life treating you? Talk to me. How's life?
Are we filming now?
We're cracking on already, Julius.
How's life treating me? You know what? Life is treating me good. I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Am I looking down into the camera?
You can look wherever you want, mate. You can look in the camera.
No, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. I'm good. I'm out and about. I try to keep myself busy. I do a little bit of training. You know, not necessarily any boxing training, but just stuff to keep myself healthy and happy.
Jimmy Manuel, wasn't you?
No. I went to Jimmy's gym.
Yeah.
And you know what? I would still, because I know Jimmy's still fighting. I would still love to work with him because I think he's a great fighter, and I think I could maybe help, like maybe something that I could teach him would benefit him. You know what I'm saying? So,
you're not doing the unlicensed anymore, are you? Or a little bit? Tell me the truth. Be honest.
Yes. No. If there's you know, it's having the urge to just maybe sometimes be in front of a lot of people.
Okay. Still get the drive.
Yeah, and I know I can go into the ring there and not get hurt and do my thing and enjoy myself. And maybe if anything, maybe someone might see me and say that whether I would give them a hand or teach them. Or,
pro license.
No.
What do you give them a hand?
You know, just if I could get my pro license, if I went for my pro license as a trainer, and it's something I thought about for a while, but sometimes I get a bit disheartened with that. You know, I don't know. It's just kind of a little bit. Sometimes it seems to me a little bit difficult, and sometimes a little bit more hassle than it's worth. You know, sometimes, and if there's guys out there that think they could benefit from what I've learned and what I know and what I can teach, then feel free to contact me. You know.
What do you think of the current crop of heavyweights in this country right now? Because it's amazing now that we've got David A, Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Hughie Fury, David Price, Nick Webb, Dominic Kelade, the list goes on. I don't want to.
There are obviously there are a few names that I would know.
Yeah.
You know, a couple of the last couple of names I don't really know. Haven't really seen those guys fight because they're not prominent fighters.
They're coming through.
David Hay, I've always rated David Hay. Anthony Joshua, I look at Anthony Joshua and still think, even though he's a world champion, I still think that there are things about him. For me, if I was training Anthony Joshua, that I would correct and I would make him focus on more. You know. No doubt with Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is a fantastic trainer. I watch him train. I kind of follow him on Instagram. So I see some of the things that he posts, and I say to myself that the way he trains, he's not just a boxer. He's an athlete. He's an athlete in the kind of purest sense of the word. He's an athlete. You know, the things he does, and I look at him and I think he's amazing the way he trains. When I watch him box and when I watch him spar, and I still think that there are things that he can correct and I would correct on him. You know, but that's for his trainers and everybody to do.
Well, if he's going to correct it, it's a bit late in his career now.
No, I wouldn't say it's. I wouldn't say it's late in his career. I would never say it's too late for him to make those corrections.
Okay.
But he has to make and draw and have those things pointed out to him and focused on, because he is at the top, really at the top of his game, because he is a world champion. So you know, it's kind of a bit of a shame because he's not having any learning fights now. Every fight that he has is a championship fight.
This is David Hay, yeah?
No, Anthony Joshua.
Right, Anthony Joshua.
Yeah.
He's going to fight MOLINA. As we know, it's pretty much a completely shutout, one-sided mismatch. In my opinion, the guy's come over to fold over, innit?
See, this is difficult. And I don't think we can and we should ever write off a guy that comes over to fight, right? It comes over from the States to fight. Molina must have, and he has to go into the ring and go into the fight with pride. Yeah. If he goes into the fight with no pride and he just says, right, I'm coming over here to earn a few quid, get knocked over and go home. That's not what a fighter does. That's not what a boxer does. That's not what a guy who has any pride in his the sport that he does, and especially in boxing. So he's got to go in there. Molina has to go in there with a sense of self, right? With a sense of self-worth. If he goes in there with a sense of self-worth, Anthony Joshua has to, obviously he does, keep himself in tip-top condition, and he goes in there to perform at the peak of his powers. You know, maybe he will come unstuck Molina, because Anthony Joshua does punch very, very hard. He's a very accurate fighter. He's relaxing more into that jab that he's got. You know, like I said, a couple of things I see about him that I would correct.
Who's this, Joshua, right?
Yeah, with Anthony Joshua, yes.
It kind of, I've seen him with the Dillian White fight, and around 5 and 6, his jab is very stiff. He don't throw out a very potent jab. It's very, when you flick it, it should flick at a certain angle. It's too stiff.
Okay.
Do you agree or not? It's
you know,
a stiff jab, isn't it? It's not.
It's a stiff jab. He throws a stiff jab because, and I've always said this.
Yeah.
Loose shoulders, heavy hands. Right. I think maybe Joshua he's in the mould.
Yes.
His moulding is, and I've always said this from the get-go, he's in the mould of a Lewis and a Frank Bruno at the same time. Lewis is a great athlete, even though Frank Bruno was a very athletic person, but he has the kind of body and build of a Frank Bruno, like athleticism of a Lennox. With that, he has to learn to, and I say he has to learn to, just to be relaxed, knowing that he can flick his jab. He doesn't have to every time push out his jab, because that's what he does. When he gets tired, he starts pushing his jab. It's forced and laboured. You know, always try and keep that jab nice and loose. Pop it out, and that's why I say loose shoulders, heavy hands. You know.
It was lovely seeing you, Julius.
No problem.
I don't want to, it's getting late now. For our bed, we've got to get up early tomorrow.
We've got to get up early and go and do some running, jogging, whatever.
And we'll catch up soon, Julie. Yeah? God bless you,
No problem.
Julius.
Thank you very much.